Here's just a few of the cars from today's historic sale, which takes place at Ascot Racecourse. Some of these are my favourites, some are not my favourites, but there's some interesting cars in the mix for sure, including what you're going to see shortly is a Project Lamborghini Espada that's offered at no reserve. I'm really curious to see how much this makes. It had an engine rebuild and a body restoration in 1997 costing well over 40 grand, and both look pretty rough at this point. You'll see the engine at the end of this video. Inside, there's lots of other cars that I would quite like to take home. There's an absolutely stunning BMW CSL. I quite like that Cadillac that's just in front of us. There's a lovely Ferrari Dino. And one of my favourite cars is actually outside. It's been at a previous historic sale, and it's a Bentley Continental S2. It's green over green. The paintwork is patinated and faded, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's offered at £60,000 to £80,000. Which is much less than the £265,000 it sold for in 2017, which kind of gives you an idea of values of classic cars, although I do suspect that that was probably a retail price rather than a comparable auction price. This Bentley Continental GTC wouldn't normally be my thing, but it's a 4,000 mile car from new. It's probably as new as you can get one of these cars. It's absolutely beautiful. I think the guide is mid-20s on it. And imagine, if you can get away with not spending horrendous amounts of bills on it, it looks like a really good buy. Another of my favourites is the Park Ward limousine just behind here, really quite a rare car. Historics have had a few of them, and these were built for captains of industry, and you can imagine the cost new of something like this. And one of my favourite things about it is the fact that it's got a TV in the back, a really old style TV that for me kind of reminds me of my childhood. This BMW 850 CSI is a manual car. It's been sat for a few years, described as a bit of a project, is offered at no reserve, and how much is it going to make? The interior actually looks quite nice. The window drops as it should when you open the door. I did have a look around the engine bay. It's not as bad as I would have thought, and the interior still smells nice, most importantly, that actually it's not been damp. And there's my favourite of the entire auction. I can't believe it's actually sitting outside rather than inside. But what a beautiful thing with a fantastic history, lovely story, such an elegant shape. What a car for that money, I think, compared to some of the other cars at a similar value. There's also a De Tomaso Pantera that's offered from a Middle Eastern collection. I also like the Camargue that's just in the background. I love a little Maserati, and this Zagato Spider is right up my street. A nice little thing to cruise around in for summer. Hopefully it'll be a good auction for historics. You're going to just see that engine, and we'll see how things sell. Hopefully it's a sunny day like when I visited on Thursday. I know that Friday was a bit rainy, but we'll have to see how the sale does.